Hello and welcome to Select 10. If you're tired of looking for the best action movies that you've not seen so far and can't seem to come across anything, then relax. This video will provide a fresh recommendation of some of the best and lesser-known action movies that have mind-blowingly intense and vicious action. Today's selections will include the 10 best action movies that are still relatively unknown. Now let's start the video. Number 10. Priest. It is an horror action film directed by Scott Stewart. The story takes place in a post-apocalyptic future in which humanity and vampires have been constantly at war for millennia. The primary plot centers on an ancient priest who currently resides in isolation with the other oppressed humans in nightmarish settlements. However, everything changes dramatically when a violent group of vampires kidnaps his young niece, leaving him with no choice but to set out on a mission to locate her before they transform her into a vampire like them. In the meantime, he is assisted in his fight against the vampire army by an old fighter queen who possesses extraordinary combat abilities. Honestly, this movie deserves a slightly higher rating for its action. Overall, the story presents a gloomy and aesthetically striking universe with superb CGI and design. The action scenes, which include gripping pursuit scenes and bloody battle scenes, are expertly done. But the movie does a poor job of expressing its story. However, for fans of action movies, Priest is a fun watch despite its shortcomings. Number 9. Furious. It is an epic historical action film directed by Zanuck Faziev. The film opens in the 13th century and tells the narrative of a historic war in which 17 heroic soldiers protect their home from a legion of skilled Mongol armies. The main character of this tale is a young soldier named Evbadi, who commands a motley crew of men in their resistance to the Mongol attack. The film's massive battle sequences and visually spectacular cinematography are intense and wonderfully convey the cruelty of ancient warfare. On the story side, the film suffers and may or may not please you. If we set aside the action, the narrative was extremely straightforward and placed too much emphasis on common themes of historical action movies. So don't expect a fantastic or unique story or significant character development from this film. Instead, see it for the visually stunning battle scenes, which are undoubtedly worth watching. Number 8. Honest Thief. It is an action thriller film directed by Mark Williams. The movie tells the story of an infamous bank robber who, in an attempt to reach an agreement, decides to give back all of the cash he robbed in return for a shorter prison term. However, when he is falsely accused of murder by 2 FBI agents, things do not turn out as he had hoped, and he ends up fleeing in order to clear his identity and bring the lawbreakers to justice. When you see the film, you will understand why he wanted to surrender in the first place. The action sequences were brilliant, full of thrills, and expertly performed stunts. Liam Neeson's portrayal brings his trademark passion and appeal to the character. In a nutshell, it is a classic Liam Neeson film, but in a good way. The film offers a straightforward yet enjoyable plot that lives up to what is expected of a Liam Neeson action film, but it might not offer anything new for wider audiences who are expecting more than just good action. Number 7. The Grandmaster. It is a martial arts action film based on the life story of the Wing Chun Grandmaster IP Man. The narrative starts in the 1930s and recounts the life of IP Man, a highly skilled martial art practitioner who went on to become Bruce Lee's teacher. The narrative follows him as his quiet life is upended by revenge when he encounters Gong Er, who confronts him in an effort to restore the reputation of her family. In terms of action, it is a well-made film that ruthlessly depicts the beauty and aggression of martial arts actions. Tony Leung gives a mesmerizing performance as IP Man, and his tough yet endearing appearance on screen is simply amazing. The film examines many types of martial arts and their professionals, highlighting the commitment and self-control needed to learn them. The story jumps between time periods, which gets confusing and makes keeping up with the film's asymmetrical storyline more difficult. Additionally, at times, the story occasionally focuses more on Gong Er than an IP Man, which somewhat reduces your interest in the plot. However, as a whole, it is a powerful martial arts film that blends spectacular action scenes with a good plot and exceptional acting. Number 6. Bloodshot. It is a superhero action film based on the Valiant Comics character of the same name. The film stars Vin Diesel as Ray Garrison, an officer who is revived with improved skills after dying in battle. Soon after he is revived, he develops into an invincible weapon with the ability to heal rapidly, owing to a legion of nanoparticles in his entire body. But when his employer tries to mess with his memory, Garrison is forced to go on a frantic quest to figure out what is true and what isn't. The excellent CGI highlights Bloodshot's superhuman talents and produces absolutely appealing scenes that are bound to please action enthusiasts. Additionally, the movie has cyberpunk and sci-fi elements, which heighten the tension in the narrative. Although the film's action and special effects are its strongest points, the lack of more detail in the story and characters keeps it from living up to its true potential. However, despite these flaws, Bloodshot continues to captivate its audience with its energetic action, providing a pleasant and exciting thrill for fans of superheroes and action movies. Number 5. Headshot. It is an Indonesian action film directed by the Mo brothers. The plot of the film isn't terrific, but the action is. If you like movies like The Raid, this one is for you. The story is about an amnesiac man named Ishmael who gets drawn into a bloody battle with a group of criminals and is forced to face his devastating history when they pursue him. Similar to Raid, the film offers harsh and furious fight sequences that are eye-catching and thrill-seeking, while also incorporating underlying themes such as crime, retribution, and salvation. The narrative is simple and revolves around Ishmael's mission to learn more about his past and bring down the organized crime network that caused his loss of memory. For those who enjoy hard-hitting, realistic fighting scenes as well as solid martial arts action, Headshot is an action movie that's worth seeing. Number 4. 12 Strong. It is a 2018 action war film directed by Nikolai Fuglsig. The tale centers around Captain Mitch Nelson, who leads an elite armed forces squad into a very risky assignment and forms a friendly association with the native people in order to defeat the violent group of the country. However, when Nelson and his men find themselves heavily outnumbered, they are forced to combat a merciless opposition that spares no one. If you've seen the film Black Hawk Down, you'll like this one. It is a riveting and violent war movie that provides an engaging representation of a little-known military operation. It also effectively illustrates the courage and willpower of the soldiers who participated in the assignment, showing their selfless acts and the difficulties they encountered in a hazardous situation. The combat sequences in this movie are not like the action scenes in other movies on this list. Here, the action is rough, which gives it realism and makes it feel emotional and powerful. It is a solid film that will appeal to fans of war and action flicks. Number 3. Premium Rush. It is an action thriller film directed by David Koepp. The plot centers on a bike courier serviceman, Wiley, who one day receives an unidentified important cargo to transport, but a dishonest police officer abruptly interrupts Wiley's day and starts pursuing him across the city in an effort to seize the cargo before it gets delivered. What happens next is an intense chase between the investigator and Wiley around the city. The film's strongest point is its unique premise of bike messengers, which adds excitement and intensity to the action scenes and deadly bicycle chases. Though the film shines at action, the plot itself is a little weak and feels more like an excuse for the action scenes than an engaging story. Overall, it's a high-speed action film that succeeds on its word of excitement and adrenaline, making it an enjoyable ride for fans of the genre. Number 2. Colombiana. It is an action thriller film directed by Olivier Megaton. The story centers on Catalea, a 9-year-old Colombian girl whose parents are murdered by a criminal warlord. However, after 15 years, Catalea, as an assassin, swears to exact revenge on those responsible for the murder of her parents. Right, it sounds like a standard revenge tale, and although it is, so were the majority of the action revenge movies. Therefore, what makes them unique is the integration of action into this well-known revenge story's structure. The film's excellent appearance, realistic mood, and urban environments keep viewers interested throughout. The film is packed with hand-to-hand fights and impressively dramatic gunfights. And as I already said, the plot follows a common revenge storyline, making it predictable, although the film's explosive action segments make up for these drawbacks. Number 1. Public Enemies. It is a crime action drama directed by Michael Mann. The plot is set in the 1930s, when bank robberies and other violent crimes against wealthy people were widespread. Johnny Depp played the infamous bank burglar, John Dillinger in the movie, and Christian Bale played FBI agent, Melvin Purvis. The story recounts Dillinger's cat-and-mouse struggle with police management, which vows to get him. All of this begins when the police department grows determined to apprehend Dillinger and make him the agency's #1 enemy, assigning their highest-ranking agent, Melvin Purvis, to bring him in. Considering that the movie was released in 2009, it really looks modern and has that gritty vibe that gives the historical context a feeling of accuracy and attention to particulars. John Depp's charm simplifies Dillinger, transforming him into a broad and captivating character rather than a routine villain. Christian Bale also excels, and the action is less, but still exciting, especially the bank heist scenes. Additionally, if you were hoping for full-on action, you could be dissatisfied because it places a greater emphasis on quality action than quantity. For those who are interested in the historical era of crime action, the movie offers a compelling viewing overall. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. And do subscribe our channel to see more videos related to movies and series suggestions.